believe it? The month of March is almost over. We've almost completed the first quarter of the year, and I've been excited enough and fortunate enough to bring you 3 episodes of HR in the Dark. I'm really excited about that. This is Stephanie, your CEO and HR strategist from HR04 for you, and your podcast host of HR in the Dark, the video podcast where we expose the dark side of HR, talk about things that some people may not want to talk about, but we need to talk about. April is approaching us, and as such, some of you may know that April is National Alcohol Awareness Month. So April's podcast is going to be dedicated to talking about the signs of alcoholism in the workplace. Specifically, we'll be talking about 3 signs that are the most prevalent signs of alcoholism in the workplace. And the title is Liquid Courage, How to Identify the 3 Signs of Alcoholism in the Workplace. In addition to talking about the signs of alcoholism, we'll talk about what the role of HR is as it relates to alcoholism in the workplace. What kind of policies need to be in place to help employees deal with alcoholism, and what types of policies need to be in place from an employment standpoint, from an organizational standpoint, to help protect the employer as well. Are there laws that protect the employee and or the employer? Yes, there are. And so we will talk about what those 2 specific laws are that are in place. And we'll talk about where the threshold is for employers that are required to follow those laws. We'll also talk about the policies that need to be in place. Many employers, I'm sure you've heard or know that they have drug and alcohol policies. What exactly does that mean? What do those policies need to look like, and what do they need to have written in them? And then we'll also talk about culture and perception. So if we know we have employees that are in the workplace that may be potentially dealing with alcoholism, how do we combat that and handle that from a standpoint when we have our holiday party, or when we have a team meeting or a team building activity and we go out to eat afterwards and there's a bar? What do we do about that? Is there anything we can do about that? We'll talk a little bit about that. And then lastly, as always, you know, I've got a court case for you to discuss. It's a $6 million court case that has to deal with an employee who sued their very well-known employer for not protecting them under one of these federal laws that was designed to protect them as it relates to dealing with alcoholism in the workplace. I look forward to bringing you this information. And again, the episode will air on next Wednesday, April the 4th, 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have not already subscribed to the podcast, I would love to have you on the podcast list. You can do so by going to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/expose HR in the dark. And you can subscribe directly there. The podcast link will get dropped directly into your email on April the 4th at 9:00. You can also follow me across my social media channels on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. The social media sites will also have the links to the podcast. But if you subscribe, subscribers get special offers that social media followers don't necessarily get. So we'd love to have you on the podcast list. Again, it airs April the 4th, which is next Wednesday, 9:00 p.m. Until then, all the best. See you soon.